So hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's doing good. Mac is the owner of multiple businesses, currently serving as founder and CEO of Momentum Digital, that of which he started with his co-founder in August 2015 after leaving Google. Over the last 5 years, Mac was able to scale the agency to over 20 people and has worked with hundreds of small businesses. His entire mission is to provide digital momentum to small local businesses who need it the most. Mac also owns Phone Repair Philly, now the #1 electronics repair company in Philadelphia, and he uses that business to showcase his digital skills around SEO, local SEO, and other various marketing services. He started his company in 2015 with $1,000 and grew it to now 4 locations and 6,000% in 24 months.
I'm glad to be here. Most people would probably say I'm a digital marketer, but I'm probably more of an entrepreneur who knows digital marketing.
What is the most important thing to you when it comes to catering to clients?
One, are you doing what you said you were going to do? Are you providing them the value that you promised in the original quote or agreement? If you said you're going to build them a new website or getting them a certain amount of followers on Instagram, whatever the case might be, are you providing that work? Are you doing the job? Second thing is, do you have the relationship? Are you communicating with them? Are you showing empathy? Do you care about them? Are you providing them with attentive feedback? Are you jumping on phone calls? And I always say, if you're doing 2 of the 2 things, you can keep the client forever, as long as they don't, go out of business for other struggles that they're having as a business owner.
So what's the model you're going toward that you're in now, and why that switch?
So the model now is very straightforward. It's very transparent for pretty much everybody involved. Let's say we agree to grow your business online with SEO and marketing for $1,000 a month. I don't have the time or the bandwidth to do the work, nor is it really smart or feasible anymore for me to have an employee who's doing countless different things that I'm paying a salary and all this stuff on top of it, plus the taxes. And nobody needs to work in an office anymore. So I'm eliminating any downside and liabilities and focusing on the leverage I have of bringing the client in, which is the hardest thing. People that I've hired through universities, through recruiting, through Indeed, through Monster, through ZipRecruiter. And I bring them on and say very straightforward to them, hey, I need an account manager. You're paid based on the accounts that you manage. If you lose the account, we both lose out on the money. And typically, it's whatever we negotiate that contract to be. Typing away on the computer, doing the work, whatever needs to be done. If we lose the client, we both lose the money. It's a 50-50 split. And so far, it hasn't done me wrong. They obviously sign a non-compete, an NDA, a non-disclosure, all that stuff.
What did you find to be the biggest challenge when you started your own business? And then secondly, how did you overcome this challenge and not let it deter you from accomplishing your goals?
Biggest challenges has always been around personnel for pretty much any business. Yeah, it all comes down to resources, because we all have similar resources, whether it's time, it's money, financial capital, whether it's human resources, people that help you out.
Do you think the videos you include on your website allow you to showcase your personality more and bring in more clients? How do you come up with content ideas for these videos?
One of the second best pieces of marketing is branding. And so people buy things that they trust or that they know. And when it comes to a marketing agency, you're actually talking to another human being. It's not like, I'm buying a product from Amazon. So people like to know who they're working with, especially if they're a small business owner. They need to see a face and a name. It's just a level of trust, because they also know that A, I am who I am, and B, I know what I'm talking about because there's videos of me explaining the stuff that we do for clients.
What are the biggest challenges in terms of SEO that you have faced in getting your business on the first page of potential client search results?
3 major problems. One is money. Small businesses never have enough money, don't really see the value in the work that you're doing, and they want results right away. They want to be ranking at the top right away, and they don't understand why they're not. So small businesses don't really see the value in it, and they don't really have the resources to afford it. Another big problem is technical infrastructure for their website. A lot of times businesses, they've heard of the term SEO, they know they need a website, and they hire somebody to build or design their website that completely F's it up. They botch it from the start. The third thing I would say is correspondence from the client. A lot of these small businesses take forever to get back to you because they're doing so many things, and a lot of them aren't even that familiar with using their email and writing content. So
do you have any key tips on starting a business? What do you think were crucial to your success in the beginning?
Similar to what Dave was saying earlier, I think I was always born an entrepreneur, from buying, selling, trading cards, starting my own little e-commerce thing when I was growing up, and just being in an entrepreneurial family with my dad being an entrepreneur and business owner. I've had 20 different jobs in my life, got fired from half, quit the other half, doesn't work. I got the job for Google. Getting the job at Google, if you want to work for Google, this is what you do. Make sure you're smart and have a good GPA. Because if you don't have that, you're already scratched. You need to have at least a 3.5, and you have to have a lot of extracurriculars. They want overachievers. Make sure you're very involved and you're very active. 2, research the exact position that you want at Google. Exactly. They've got thousands of open positions and job opportunities on hire.google.com. You find the exact position, you research that position, you find out as much as you can. And then if there's any career fair, which there probably won't be at Temple University, you go directly to LinkedIn. You completely optimize your LinkedIn. Make it look spectacular. Put all your experience on there. Put case studies. Ask people for recommendations. Add a bunch of people as connections. Then from there, you look for second-degree connections for people who, A, went to Temple University, and B, worked at Google at some point in their life. Preferably currently work at Google. So try to find a second or third degree connection, connect with them, try to get an introduction to them from your mutual connection, and say, hey, I found you on LinkedIn, I see you work at Google and went to Temple. I currently go to Temple, I study XYZ. I'd love if you had 3 minutes to talk about what it's like working for Google. I'm so interested and want to apply, blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what I did. I got the call. I had a couple questions lined up that I wanted to ask her. I asked her a couple questions. I said, is there anybody else I can talk to? She introduced me to somebody else. I talked to that person. And I said, this is the exact job that I want to apply for. That position put me in the system saying that I wanted this specific job, which got me the interview. Getting the referral, they put in the referral for you because they get a $2,000 bonus if you get hired. So once they put you in the system, you immediately get an initial screening interview. From there, you try to prep for that. Talk to the person that referred you because they want you to get hired. So they're going to talk to you and help you out because they're going to get the $2,000 bonus. So I had that person coach me on all the interview questions. I went through the screening and then 3 phone call interviews and then 3 in-person interviews. So 7 interviews. Jeez. Over 2 weeks. It's so cliche, but you need 2 things. First and foremost, when getting into entrepreneurship, you need to have a very valuable skill set or product or service. You need to be solving a problem. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is you need to do it around something that you care about, something that you're interested in, something that, is of value to you, and that because entrepreneurship, you're in it for the long game, you're in it for life. And so you need to be happy doing that because to me, that's all that matters. I don't think making $1 billion matters to me. It doesn't. I think my happiness matters and my flexibility matters. And so that's what you get with entrepreneurship for the most part.
What are some good ways to prove yourself without an extensive resume? In other words, what are you looking for people that can prove to you in the moment?
Who do I need to impress? I think that's something that people need to think about a lot more because ultimately you need probably 1, 2, potentially 3 people to give you an opportunity. And you're going to get that opportunity one of 2 ways. One is to impress them and not having any skill sets. The other way is actually having a core tangible skill set. So being incredibly good at video editing or Photoshop or Microsoft Excel or web design. You need a specific tangible skill set, because I'm not just hiring a digital marketer. Like, I want somebody who's really good at something. And so one thing you could do, I would literally go to udemy.com, udemy.com, pay for a $10 course that's going to teach you more in 4 days than you've learned 4 years in college. Have it be a practical course on something that's tangible that you can implement while you're taking the course, whether it's Photoshop or web design, and actually build something while you're taking the course, and then do it again, and then get better. Watch YouTube videos, research on Google. Whenever I hire somebody, the one thing I look for is if they're a self-starter, if they're self-motivated. You need to make sure that you're the best at something. That's option A. Make sure that you're the best at something. Or B, take my approach to getting the job at Google to make sure you have a job lined up. True entrepreneurs are being defined right now due to the coronavirus. They're able to innovate and pivot and figure things out and make money during the coronavirus. Innovate, build systems and processes. Take this time to build your company. SEO, literally local SEO, is how we generate 80% of our revenue at Phone Repair Philly, and probably 50 to 60% at Momentum is free organic traffic from Google.
What is the biggest advice you would give to your 21-year-old self?
Don't have any downtime. I didn't have any downtime. So like, if you have downtime, like, get rid of it. Stop watching Netflix and chilling and like playing video games and all that shit. Like, now is your time to build your career and your future. So get involved in clubs and organizations, research online, build a skill set, like become the best version of you and build the connections now that are going to be the foundation for your future. I would say the most important aspect of new business is customers and cash flow. Obviously, all these things are trends for social media. The basics of digital marketing, if you guys want to get into it, are definitely learn about Google and search, learn about SEO versus pay-per-click, Facebook, Instagram ads, which are very popular with the younger age groups for marketing agencies. Find your field of interest within this stuff. Some resources, literally, like I said, like Google and YouTube, try Lynda, Udemy, or Skillshare. I'll share this presentation. Additional resources, check out this blog that I have a bunch of resources in for all these different platforms where you could learn about SEO. I started both businesses with $1,000 in the bank account. Really, the secret of doing that was just bootstrapping and being very frugal. It wasn't easy. I didn't really save money that I made from working at Google and other stuff. I was traveling all over. Getting online, if you want to get your business online, these things have helped me become really successful with Phone Repair Philly, which drives most of our revenue from local SEO. Google My Business is the king of all kings when it comes to ranking locally, which is what your friend was talking about. And then here's some other resources. I talk a lot about social media. Starting a website, I would go with Squarespace or WordPress. Wix and Weebly are pretty easy as well. Starting and building a website is so easy in this day and age. So watch a YouTube video and you'll figure it out. Bunch of all-in solutions. I started using Weebly like 10 years ago, and now I do mostly WordPress because of different customizations. While you're in college, it's really about differentiating yourself, finding a skill set, aligning that with a passion, setting goals for yourself, and then working hard. But honestly, like, here's some books: How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's my favorite book.
That's where you start. Start with that one, and then go to Think and Grow Rich. Outliers, 4-Hour Work Week, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you want to be an entrepreneur, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Dude, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. If you do not have thick skin, I'm sorry, you can't. It takes a lot to build thick skin. So entrepreneurship is probably not for you if you don't have thick skin, or if you're willing to put multiple years in to develop thick skin. 80 plus interns or employees over the last 4 years, specifically from Temple. So if you are interested, email me or DM me. I'm only going to hire people for one of two reasons, which is hopefully one of the takeaways that you guys took from this is either somebody who's really willing to put in the work and be a sort of like a self-taught learner or somebody who has a specific skill set.
Awesome. Mac, any final words, man? Thank you again. Can't say thank you enough. I appreciate you, value you, your friendship, and thank you so much for taking the time out to share with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me as always. I love this stuff, and it was absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, and it was nice meeting everybody. You got one life, everybody, so make the best of it. Set your heights, you know. There's nothing stopping you except for you. So just understand yourself and understand where you want to go. And thanks again.